There's one address we're all going to have to think about someday. Our very last one. And yeah, it can feel a little heavy to consider. But for our ancestors, this final location was everything. They believed it held the key to their family's entire destiny. Today, we're going to dig into this incredible ancient wisdom, which has exploded back into popular culture thanks to the movie Exuma, and really explore this deep connection between the land, the dead, and the living.
All right, so let's get right into it. Why was this idea of a final address considered, and I mean this literally, a matter of life and death? I mean, just let that sink in. For them, choosing a gravesite wasn't just some final detail. It was the most important decision they could make. It was the one thing that could either set their family up for generations of success or doom them to ruin. The weight of that choice, it's just immense.
Now, it's really easy for us to just write this off as old superstition, right? But that's missing the whole picture. This wasn't just folklore. It was a deep, complex system of thought, a powerful cultural code that, as we're seeing with movies like Exuma, still has a hold on us. The idea that where an ancestor rests can send out these energetic ripples that affect us, the living, it's something that still feels pretty powerful.
So, what exactly were they looking for? What did one of these perfect spots, a so-called myeongdong, actually look like?
Well, it all starts with this one core principle you may have heard of, DrJBHE&M. Literally, it means a mountain at your back and water at your front. The idea is that the big, sturdy mountain behind you acts like a shield, blocking all the bad stuff, like harsh winter winds. And then the gently flowing water out front gathers up all the good energy, all that prosperity, and holds it for you. Honestly, it makes perfect sense. When you're house hunting, what do you look for? You want a place that's sheltered, but also has great light and a nice open view, right? It's the exact same logic. Our ancestors were basically cosmic real estate agents trying to find the absolute best plot of land for the soul's final home.
And this is where it gets really amazing. It wasn't just any mountain and any river. They were looking for a very specific shape. Basically, a giant armchair built by nature itself. The grave seat, the myojiwa, sits right in the middle, perfectly protected. From behind, you have the main mountain. Then on the left, you have a strong ridge called the Blue Dragon, reaching forward. And on the right, a slightly lower ridge, the White Tiger, gently curves in, almost like it's giving the site a hug. These landforms were so important, they were named after mythical beasts, who we'll get to in a minute.
So, you found the perfect plot of land, this amazing natural armchair. You think you're done, right? Not even close. Now, the really hard work began, figuring out the exact, precise angle to place the body.
This is where two critical ideas come in, Ja and Hang. Ja is the seat. It's the direction the head is pointing. This is your foundation. You want it leaning back against that strong mountain for total stability and peace. Then you have Hyang, which is the view. This is where the feet are pointing. That needs to face the open space, the water, to welcome in all that good fortune. You needed both, solid stability behind you and bright opportunity in front. And get this, the level of precision here is just mind-blowing. We're not talking about north, south, east, and west, not even the 8 directions. Our ancestors used a system of 24 distinct directions. I mean, look at this. They took a full 360-degree circle and sliced it into 24 tiny little sections, each just 15 degrees wide. This wasn't just about finding a nice angle. This was about aligning with the entire cosmos. They combined everything, astronomy, cosmology, the heavens, the earth, to find that one single perfect orientation. They were literally trying to plug the soul into the machinery of the universe. Okay, so let's shift gears from the super technical stuff to the mythology, because every sacred space needs its guardians, right? A grave wasn't just a resting place for a body, it was a home for the soul, and it needed protection. First up, guarding the east, where the sun rises, you have the Blue Dragon. It represents all that vibrant energy of springtime, that powerful life force that ensures a family will continue to thrive. Over on the west, you've got the awesome White Tiger keeping watch. It's the symbol of power, authority, and it's there to ward off any evil spirits or bad vibes. Soaring in the south, you'll find the Vermilion Bird, this incredible phoenix-like creature. It stands for the passion of summer and the hope of resurrection and life everlasting. And finally, holding down the north is the Black Tortoise. It represents the deep, quiet stillness of winter and the wisdom of the earth.
Only when all four of these divine guardians were in place could the soul truly rest in perfect eternal peace. So how did all of these incredible beliefs actually play out in the real world? Well, they were so important, they were actually written into the law. This is just wild. During the Joseon dynasty, the size of your grave was legally determined by your social status. A high-ranking official could get a plot of land bigger than a football field, while a commoner was limited to a space 100 times smaller. The social hierarchy of life followed you, quite literally, to the grave. And they were obsessed with making sure an ancestor was never forgotten. Of course, you had the tombstone, the Mayapio, that listed out their life story, but get this, they also buried a second stone called a Myoji inside the grave. It was basically a backup ID card for the soul, just in case a flood or a war destroyed the tombstone. It just shows you how desperate they were to make sure that person's memory would endure, no matter what. So, after all that, what's the real heart of the matter? What's the big takeaway that we can still feel today? It's this: the grave site was never just a plot of land. It was a sacred portal, a living connection that tied together the energy of the earth, the soul of the ancestor, and the future of everyone still living. To choose that place with so much care was the ultimate act of respect for the dead, and the most powerful prayer for the living. Now, obviously, a lot of our customs are changing. Cremation is much more common. But even though the methods are different, that core feeling is exactly the same. That deep, human need to remember the people we love and to treat our own final journey with a sense of dignity, that's absolutely timeless. So it kind of leaves you with a question, doesn't it? Thinking about all this deep and ancient wisdom, what is the final landscape that you dream of for yourself?